Howdy guys, my name is Abby. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Today is going to be a different video than I usually film, but I am excited and also I kind of felt a little bit crazy researching this, but I'm going to be talking about vegan mayonnaise. So normally on my channel I do like vegan cruelty-free makeup and like decluttering, organizing kind of stuff, so this is like way off topic, but I thought it was interesting, and if you're weird like me, you may want to know about it, or if you're just curious what the heck vegan mayo even is, then stay tuned. So I'm going to be talking about some, not really conspiracy theory, but some things happening in like the vegan mayonnaise industry that were a little while back, so you might have already heard about all this. And I'm also going to be ranking my favorite vegan mayo or mayo substitutes. So you might have heard of this company called Just Mayo, or this product called Just Mayo. It was started by a company called Hampton Creek, and they had I'm pretty sure they came out with the mayonnaise first, and they had like ranch, and they had sweet mustard. It wasn't like a honey mustard because it didn't have honey in it, but and they had like cookies and cookie dough and a whole bunch of other stuff that just seemingly disappeared off of the market. So I'm sure you've heard of the brand called Hellmann's mayonnaise, which is pretty much like the mayonnaise brand in the States at least, and they're owned by a company called Unilever. I never know if I said it right. Is it Unilever or Unilever? I don't know. But in 2014, they sued Hampton Creek for mislabeling their mayonnaise because they said that mayonnaise has to have egg, but obviously a vegan mayonnaise wouldn't have egg. So they eventually dropped that lawsuit. However, this kind of created some trouble for Hampton Creek. So they kind of rebranded a little bit there right after that to make because their product's called Just Mayo, but they kind of separated the word just and made that its own thing instead of meaning just mayo as in it's just mayo, you know. They put on their packaging that just means guided by reason, justice, and fairness. They kind of like tried to make it clear without having to totally change their name, I suppose, of, you know, that it didn't mean that like that was the mayonnaise, you know. So in 2016, the American Egg Board launched basically a smear campaign against Hampton Creek because they thought they were also mislabeling and they couldn't make mayonnaise without egg in it. But then the USDA said, no, you can't be doing that. They're fine, so they dropped that. But also, something that happened around that time was Just Mayo started disappearing off of shelves. So it was like out of stock everywhere for a while. I remember I ate their ranch on everything. Before I went vegan, I kind of use ranch sometimes, but not like I do now, because it was like, oh, I found this replacement, and the Just Ranch was the best that I had ever, like, and to this day I have ever found. Every alternative or every new one that comes on the market, I try it and it's not the same. Now I make my own with mayo, so that's why I feel like I'm like a mayonnaise connoisseur or whatever, because I make my own ranch out of mayo, and I've tried different ones just because of like the current situation. The grocery stores can't stay stocked on a lot of things, and you know, that's mayo happens to be one of them. So the mayo and all the condiments and the cookie dough and all that stuff kind of disappeared off the market. I have heard rumors that you can get the mayo at Walmart. However, it's like, it's good, but it's not quite good enough for me to go to Walmart. Obviously the Just Mayo is my #1 pick for the best mayo, or vegan mayo anyways, but what makes it so special, so I'm going to talk about like the main ingredient in these. So the main ingredient in the Just Mayo is a specific variety of the Canadian yellow field pea. I know that was like way, because the other ones are like canola oil, so that kind of gave it that different texture, and it replaced the egg better than these oil substitutes. And then now the Just company has, which I just now like considered this, but they've kind of like flipped around, and now their big thing is the Just egg. So that is like a total, I believe it's made from mung beans, but it's like a total replacement for a scrambled egg. I know a lot of people can't really tell the difference. I have tried it a lot, and they have recently slashed the prices on it. It was, when it first came out, I want to say it was like $9.99, and then now it's about $4.99 usually. Sometimes it's like $5.99 and get it on sale. But they have like expanded their operation so they can offer it at an affordable price and an affordable alternative to eggs. Even if you aren't vegan, there's a lot of people who are allergic to eggs that can't eat, you know, things that are made with egg, like traditional mayonnaise or, you know, like scrambled eggs and that kind of stuff. So they seem to have kind of focused their production on the egg instead of the mayo. So that's like a lot of people, I feel like at first people were kind of like up in arms about it, like where's the mayonnaise at? But now they're just kind of like everybody's given up and they're just doing the egg now. So that was my number 1 pick, and then my number 2 is actually the Hellmann's mayo. So Hellmann's, despite all of that lawsuit and everything, they have decided, well, if you can't beat them, join them. So Hellmann's made their own vegan mayo type spread. They're not, I don't think they call it mayonnaise, they call it Hellmann's vegan dressing and sandwich spread. So I think they're kind of like not trying to be hypocrites, but also made their own, you know, thing out of it. And that is actually, it's actually pretty decent, I think. I mean, it's not as good as the Just Mayo, but it's better than the other ones I'm going to talk about. And the primary ingredient in the Hellmann's one is soybean oil. And number 3 is the OG vegan mayonnaise. They've been around since 1977. So I think this company started as a sandwich shop, and they kind of made their own dressing and stuff and then started selling it. Did I even say what it was? It's the Vegenaise by Follow Your Heart. Follow Your Heart has a lot of substitutes like cheeses and you know, dressings and that kind of stuff. The primary ingredient in that is canola oil. So Vegenaise is kind of like, if you remember, if you're vegan now, like from before, the mayonnaise was like a creamy kind of, you know, thicker consistency, and then you had like the Miracle Whip type stuff, which was a little bit lighter, kind of for like people on a diet, I guess. It wasn't so thick, it was a little bit thinner. And they have a ton of varieties of it, like a ton of different flavors. They have like soy-free, fat-free, like a whole bunch of different, like chipotle and that kind of flavors too. The Vegenaise is okay. I would prefer that over this last one in a pinch. It's usually really easy to find, and it comes in a giant glass jar, which the Hellmann's one kind of comes in a little bit smaller plastic jar. So, and I have not done a price comparison on them, honestly, just because like I usually only have one option because the store is sold out of one or the other. That's a conundrum with being a vegan. It's like I like that the vegan products have so much demand that they're out of stock, but then I'm like, they're out of stock. Ugh, I can't buy it. And the last one on the list is the most recent one that I've tried. It's kind of newer to the market, but it is the Simple Truth, quote, plant-based mayo spread. So I did try to use this one for ranch, and it's slightly similar to the Vegenaise because it is also made with canola oil, but it's kind of lumpy, a little bit of a not really as consistent, I guess, and it's, yeah, I don't know, just doesn't have that like flavor to it. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but I definitely would not buy it again unless that was like the last resort option. I made ranch with it, not great. But the pro to that one is that it is fairly inexpensive. It's only like $2, but it does come in a really small jar. So if you're like on a budget in a pinch, maybe. Alright, so that was it for this video. Let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions for other kinds of like ranking videos. I am definitely into vegan food. However, I'm not the best at like filming me doing recipes just because I'm in like a shared space and I kind of feel weird like filming, you know, like out in the kitchen with everybody else. So, but I will definitely rank some food for you if you let me know what you want to see. So give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was interesting, and make sure you subscribe so I'm seeing other videos like this. And also if you're interested in vegan makeup, skincare, that kind of stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.